Uh, Good day, everyone, and welcome to this interview with Iryna Savytska, CEO and co-founder of Bank of Memories. She's just completed an intensive coaching program with me, and we're here today to hear more about her experience, her story, and insights, of course. So, without further ado, let's start. Hello, Irina. Thank you for being here today. Can you please start by telling us about yourself and your work?
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Tana, for inviting me. That's a great opportunity. Well, I feel that, first of all, I need to tell about who I am, right? So as you said, Irina, building Bank of Memories. That's an ecosystem for families, memories, and heritage using blockchain technology. So that it stays forever, never lost, and your family members in the future will be able to get access to it. So right now I'm in Silicon Valley. I'm based in San Mateo, and I was doing the coaching program because when you are a founder and you are getting to some point of development of your company, you suddenly realize that you cannot balance. You cannot balance your mental and your physical. And that's why we're like coach is helping. And honestly, I have now two coaches. So one coach is Sana, and one is a trainer, that's a physical trainer. Without both, it's kind of hard to succeed and hard to balance.
Thank you so much. So, can you tell us what is your vision for your company?
We want to substitute companies like Ancestry, MyHeritage, some portion of Facebook and Instagram, just to focus people on what matters for them. And I believe at least 300 million people can use it. We are partnering with the biggest company in the world called Family Search for family heritage and family history. And I know that there is a hunger for this kind of projects around the world. Why? Because mostly this project kind of Ancestry and MyHeritage, they are expensive. And not many people around the world can just afford it. And what we do with the blockchain, we tokenize, we reward users for everything, build your family tree, get rewards, get connections, get rewards. And this is accessible for everywhere in the world. And people like my brother, who is 18 years old, is eager to try because he knows wow, I like my family, I love my family, I want to do something for my family. At the same time, I get some rewards for that. So it becomes attractive and not expensive. And that's how I want to capture the market.
Wow, that sounds very promising and great. Okay, now can you tell us about a particularly difficult situation you faced in your business and how you overcame it?
I think the first and most important is that you're always under pressure as a founder. And it's hard to balance. Once you are quite strong with your product, you're finally talking to a lot of users, you're getting a lot of feedback, then you suddenly realize that your physical body is not catching up with you because you don't have enough time for your body or something like that. Or when you get a lot of negative feedback, suddenly your mental suffers, but your body is stronger. So that's really a challenge. The first one for me as a CEO who is responsible for all my team for fundraising. The second challenge, I guess, also very important, is to keep everyone like a core, to keep everyone together. Because all team members, of course, they have their own views, own opinions, and it's very hard to align, especially when you're growing fast. And when suddenly you start getting a lot of users and users are given a lot of feedbacks, then suddenly tech people in your team also having a lot of opinions. And that's hard to communicate with all of them. Now we are 8 people and we need to learn early how to align. This is very hard.
There was probably some challenges that you faced during these 3 months of our work together. in the program, maybe?
That's why actually I started the program, because I felt like physical pain here. I felt like something, like not headache, but I felt like skin pain in skin, and that just showed me that I'm burning out slowly if I don't have any support behind my back. Of course, I have co-founders who are supporting me, but I needed a person who's outside our team but knows business well. And the biggest challenge is that really how you finally balance. And because when you go to investors, they are so smart. They feel everything. They feel everything. If something is wrong with you, if you have some problems, you are just coming into the room with wrong energy. That's why it's a direct impact into your fundraising. So your energy, your balance is very important. And what kind of challenges I faced? Because originally I'm from Ukraine. Yes, I'm now here in the Silicon Valley. But when I came last year, I felt like I'm in pain in general because of the situation, because of my family problems. And I couldn't raise money. Well, I raised something, but I didn't raise the whole round last year. And it happened because I was not ready, like mentally, physically, in general, to give right energy to investor, to give them understanding that I'm super stable and I'm like a fighter, because they felt my weakness. And the challenge is, how are you going to talk to investor at the same level, like so that you feel you're not like that or that, but you're at the same level, and you are not asking them anything, but you are inspiring them to be on that journey with you, hand by hand. So that's the kind of the biggest challenge, but I think I'm getting better now.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, let's unwrap it more. How do you handle stress and maintain your mental, emotional well-being, and how are you coping with all of this while you managing your startup?
For me, well, it's not the same for everyone, but for me, it's just our first step is meditation and breathing techniques. Vithof is one of techniques of that person is quite good. Maybe startups want to check it out. We can leave the link below the video. But in general, meditation, and it's not just, most people think that meditation is just that you close your eyes and you think and just wait for something, that something will happen, or just listen to the music and nothing happens. But that's not meditation. So if founders feel stress and you feel like you need to release that stress, you have to first learn how to meditate. And what is Atma Sasang, for example? What is Theta healing? What is the Theta state of your brain? You have to learn it first and realize that meditation is not about closing your eyes and sitting in nature. It is also, but you can go much deeper with real learnings and real knowledge how to meditate.
Oh, wow. I have nothing I try to meditate. I did my best, but for me, this flow state of the flow, I'm experiencing this when I'm walking, actually. So walking for me, it's some sort of meditation, because I tried sitting meditation, with closed eyes and so on. And it was like a torture for me. But when I'm walking and let my mind think, let my this flow state, it's perfect for me when I'm walking. So yeah, great. So let's talk about the team, because the team dynamic, team management is essential part of the startup success. So what steps are you taking to ensure that your team is aligned and motivated and going towards the startup mission?
Yeah, first of all, I would say that money is not the first motivation. First must be a big mission and understanding why you're doing that stuff. Second is that you have to share. I know many founders who don't want to share, and that's wrong. If you go to Y Combinator school and watch their videos, it's very obvious. You have to split corporate rights for your company and even have a pool of these shares for your other employees, early employees. Usually 20% of your shares should go to the employee pool that are not founding team. So sharing is important. Being open. The third is being open. And if something is not going like super well, you need to be honest and say and ask for their opinion and ask for advice. But they're also humans and they experienced something in the past. I'm sure they can give some valuable feedback. And the last is that try to build a process. Even, yeah, sounds strange. When you have a startup, like start the process, you're so busy. But believe me, it will be much worse later. Start doing your financials now. Start collecting invoices now. Put all the assignments in Jira. Have Notion for your team so that they know everything what happens. And of course, we have a team chat where I regularly do short videos telling them what I've done for the past like couple of days, where I am. And we have regular meetings, usually 1 hour meeting on Mondays, and then 15-minute meetings among teams. For example, technical team has a separate sessions. Then we have people in marketing and strategy, PR, these kind of things. We have separate meetings. So all of that combined is important. What I want more is I want to organize retreats for my team. Now what we do is just we invite them sometimes to my home, sometimes we just meet somewhere with those who we can meet. Because Web3, my industry in general, blockchain, is everywhere around the world, but still at the same time, it's about human connection and about how we feel about each other. So I really want to have budget to organize a team coming once in a while, meeting all of us and doing something else aside of work. Don't do work. Just, do something else. So important.
Absolutely. Human connection, especially in remote work, it's like you cannot overdo this, like over-explain, over-talk, and so on. We are not talking enough when we are remotely everywhere. It's great to be all over the world, right? When you can hire a person from other part of the globe, but this connection, this one-on-ones, even through Zoom, like, okay, we can talk openly and honestly via Zoom, right? And we can share, we can be personal. We just need to do this at once in a while, right? So it's absolutely crucial. So, okay, can you maybe share any lessons or insights you have learned from your entrepreneurial journey?
I think the biggest lesson is that I met a lot of startups and they are losing hope faster than they're losing investor. So that's lesson number one. Don't lose your hope. If you don't believe yourself, if you need to really try to convince yourself, then think twice whether you really want to build a startup. What I experienced, I'm mentoring sometimes younger startups, and I found out sometimes there are groups of 10 people, 10 founders who are coming to incubation programs or hackathons. And I found out that only 4 of them are really willing to do it. So before I even start mentoring someone, I'm asking these harsh questions. Whether or not you want to marry your startup. It's your baby. It will be forever with you, like for a long time, at least 5, 7 to 10 years, if you really want to build a little business. But most of these people didn't realize that that's that important. They thought, okay, let's try it out. Maybe it will work. But in the back of their head, they didn't even have commitment to do it. So lesson number one is just sit down and answer a couple of questions. Do I have hope? Do I have belief that this really should be done? Second is, am I a right person to do it? Am I ready to dedicate 5 to 7, 10 years of my life for that or not? And third, you need to do the plan. What will I do when I have money? What will I do if I don't have any money? So that's the biggest lesson even before you start. But when you started, you are sure everything is good. It's moving fast. And then second lesson I learned is about feeling equal to investor. Never feel that you're begging or asking for money, because you are actually giving them a favor of that you're building that actually, and it will be a big business and they will be on your boat. So you are taking them to your boat. You need to respect yourself and you need others to respect you as well. And if you feel there's someone does not respect you or just giving you some, evil looks, it happens sometimes. Just understand that that's not your people. And maybe the last advice is be very selective. When it comes to investments, that's number one, what the startup needs after the product and community, right? Be selective. Do your due diligence. Sometimes I'm looking for a restaurant for this evening more carefully than people are looking at investors.
Amen. Absolutely.
Yeah, really study their background, who they are, whether you have good connection with them. Because for a long time, you don't want to risk, believe me.
Yeah, it's actually easy to divorce your spouse than investor.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. All right, let's talk about motivation. So, how do you stay motivated and focused, especially during uncertainty times or setbacks?
I don't remember the author of the book. I remember that he said, you marry and you have kids usually when you don't see any other way. Like there is no other way. There is only one way. And the same with startups. If I only have one way. I don't see other things. I will not go back to corporates. I don't see how I can be valuable there, being a part of 1,000, 10,000 or more people, and employer can easily lay off people. I don't see the value there for me. I'm an entrepreneur, so I believe you just need to keep going with your startup. And if it's really hard, just realize if you stop now, you actually lose everything you've achieved, everything. And someone who had more motivation can go till the end and get it all. And you will stuck in the middle. Do you want to stuck in the middle between those two? Between corporate and a unicorn? I don't think so.
Yeah, that's brilliant. Okay, let's talk about networking because it's essential part of any entrepreneurship way. So how do you approach networking and building relationships? And what role do you think these connections play in your success?
Well, we are all humans, and all our connections in life all help in life, in a company life, in personal life, friendship, studies. Everything is done through humans. Well, maybe someday also robots will communicate between each other, also build their own network. But so far, people just people. And that's why network is your net worth. That's a saying. And here in Silicon Valley, people are networking a lot. They're professional networkers everywhere from school. You start networking from school. How how do I approach network? First, you should not need anything from these people. When you network, yes, you have to understand what potential in the future you can do together. What can it be? But you never know. Your next handshake might be your next $1 million. You don't know. So what I suggest is when you go communicating with other people, go networking, be open-minded. Of course, you should not communicate with other founder who is building like a robot for going to the moon, and you are building a Web3 startup that is totally in other space. Because believe me, there are so many founders, you will spend every day just going networking and draining your energy. So you have to be selective where you go. First, go to the event that is for you. Second, just talk to people like humans. Don't try to sell. If you try to sell, that's it. You are done. No one is buying.
Yeah.
What you want to do, you're not at the bazaar somewhere in the Middle East. You're not buying spices, okay? It's just you're there to get connected and learn how you can help. First you are giving, then you are maybe taking or maybe not. So the idea is just to be flexible, be relaxed. When you are like that, people are coming to you and talking to you. Every time when you're running around and shaking people, give me money because this is my startup, they feel all of that, like that kind of energy, and they don't want to be with you.
Of course. Yeah, it's too tense. You're too tense.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about something weird and funny, maybe. So, what is the weirdest situation you have experienced?
That was a lot of, well, it was not really funny because it was a fiasco of the guy who I know. Well, I happen to know him from last year from Los Angeles. We were at the yacht party, and he drank some alcoholic drink. And then he was not drunk, it was okay. But then we had another event in LA in the evening. And by the evening, of course, he was already drunk and someone got him into that event. And he was so funny, talking to people, like super drunk. And then I see a Korean guy, Korean American. He's so handsome, so healthy. He never drinks alcohol. I can see it from far away. And then I was talking to that guy. And then other guy who was drunk was approaching our group and saying, "And what's your name?" and touching him. So that guy, of
touching
course,
him where? I mean,
at his belly.
At his belly. Okay. Wow, it's important.
That's like it's like a huge red flag. Like now it's in my shirt.
Of course.
So his reaction was like, "What? What do you mean?" And so like, "I'm a partner at Anderson Horowitz." I'm like, "Oh my God." And this guy was like, "Okay." And, that was so confusing and so weird. And that I think that guy would not drink any alcohol anymore.
I hope so. It's like a big lesson for him. But,
flag.
Yeah, touching his belly. Wow. Okay. So don't touch belly of some stranger on the party when you're networking. Okay. Okay. So, okay, let's get back to to serious stuff, right? So, tell me, how do you plan to continue your learning and growing as a startup founder, as far as like continuous learning is one of the most crucial like must-haves?
Yeah, I'm lifelong long learner, of course. I would suggest to read books. I have some picks. If you're interested, just ask me. In general, how I will continue learning, of course, I mean, coaching is important because sometimes you are so busy in your own world that sometimes you perceive things as bad You say, okay, I didn't raise enough. Okay, my customer retention is not that good. And you are trying to criticize yourself and you ruin yourself from inside. And that's what coach is doing as well, trying to show you from outside how you look to people, how you look to customers, and that you just need to keep going. It's very hard to find that kind of coach who can be your friend. But I continue doing that. I continue reading books, and sometimes I listen to podcasts when I'm so down. Sometimes, yeah, it happens. We are humans. We cannot be always super energized. Yeah, let's go conquer the world. It's not always the same. But when you're really down, you feel down, you just listen to some podcasts that are motivational. It helps. Maybe it sounds like weird, but it helps a lot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe, the last point, how I'm learning from kids. When I look at kids, I really learn how to be that easygoing and just be happy, to observe your life, nature. They are so, impressed and intrigued from nature, from flowers when they see that. And humans, like adults, we are so focused on work and making money and all of that serious stuff that we forget that we're very fortunate and we have to go out and maybe just stand on grass barefoot and just enjoy it. And that's also learning, actually.
Absolutely.
When you do nothing at nature, you are learning because some insights are coming to your brain.
Yeah. And actually, one of the biggest problems of founders I know, it's like this basic imposter syndrome. You're always thinking that you like not enough, but you are enough. You're learning. Yeah. If you see something probably you lack of, you just need to learn. That's it. That's simple as that. But you enough. You can learn. So you like have brain, you have hands and so on. You're gonna be fine. Absolutely. So yeah, it was great. Thank you so much for your time. And well, see you soon.
Yeah, definitely. Let's do more of these kind of interviews, but maybe more focused on some topic. If you have many questions from founders, I can just share my experience.
Happy to. Great. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Then have a great day. Bye.